Hello again. I have been watching with fascination some of the antics being engaged in by supporters of Hamas and their gullible left-wing supporters during marches in London. Spraying graffiti on the plinth of the statue of Field Marshal Haig in Whitehall, climbing up onto the statue of Boadicea by Westminster Bridge and tying flags on it, to say nothing of calling openly for genocide. Not only do the police do nothing to check this behaviour, they have been arresting people who object to what is happening. Let me ask viewers a simple question. If a large crowd of white football supporters surged through central London, spraying graffiti, climbing up onto statues and chanting in support of violence, does anybody seriously imagine that the police would let them get away with this behaviour? No? Then why do they tolerate the conduct of Muslim hooligans? Because let's face it, only hooligans charge around in a mob, climbing up onto and defacing statues. Why is this hooliganism acceptable? What is even more interesting is that when a group of patriotic people talk of meeting at the Cenotaph in London on Armistice Day, it is they who are described in newspapers as hooligans. This really is a bit much. The Daily Mail yesterday had a headline which began, "Fears that far-right hooligans will clash with pro-Palestinian march on Armistice Day." I give a link to this in the description to this video. Have viewers ever noticed that although far-right is a thing, a phrase always used in a negative way, nobody ever talks about far-left hooligans or far-left terrorists? Far-right terrorists are definitely a thing, together with far-right activists, but not far-left terrorists. Why is that? Are right-wing people more likely to be hooligans or terrorists than Muslims or left-wingers? Examining past history does not suggest that this is really the case. So terrified are people during Islamophobia Awareness Month, for so November has been declared to be, that nobody wishes to say anything which might upset any Muslim. The police know very well that people on recent marches through London have behaved like a bunch of hooligans and thugs, but they are not about to say so. But wait, I hear you say. The people on those marches are calling for peace. These are surely peace marches. They want an end to the fighting. They're calling for a ceasefire. That's surely a laudable enough aim, even if they do get a bit carried away. In fact, of course, the marches which are taking place every Saturday now in central London are not calling for peace at all. They are rather calling for war and armed conflict. Trust me, you don't need to be able to understand Arabic to know this. Here is a chant heard at the last march in London this Saturday just gone. From Al-Quds to Ramallah, victory to the Intifada. Quds is, of course, Jerusalem, the Arabic name for Jerusalem. It means holy. It's cognate with the Hebrew Kadesh. Ramallah is a town in Samaria. And I'm guessing we all know what the Intifada is, don't we? The armed struggle against Israel. Calling for victory to the Intifada is not urging peace at all, but calling for the death of Israelis. You see what the difference there between a peace march and a march calling for war? If your chant is victory to the Intifada, you're actually asking for victory in armed conflict. You are advocating war, not peace. What is wrong with people? They do not understand this. This Saturday will be Armistice Day, and tens of thousands of Muslims will once again charge around central London, carrying on like hooligans and calling for violence. The police will do nothing, and those who are planning to meet at the Cenotaph that day are being branded hooligans and far-right extremists in advance. I honestly do not know what is wrong with people, that they simply cannot understand what is really going on.